All right, and we are now on.
So we're recording now, or we're still waiting on the countdown?
Still waiting on a countdown.
Okay.
Yep, it's gone live so everybody can hear all this fun bantering before the show.
Wait, we went live after we were talking about adorable penguins visiting fish?
Yes.
Yeah, and that
Wow,
other stuff.
really
so
dropped the ball
we
on that one.
got to get it out of our systems.
Yeah.
Right, Jenny?
Yeah.
There's no cuteness on Game That Tune. No penguin discussion.
Oh, man.
All right, the silence just confirms that GTT is not cute.
I mean, I think I'm cute, and I'm on GTT, so therefore GTT is cute.
If we're not
Johnny,
being
you're
cute,
adorable.
I'm gonna change my game. Jeez.
Yeah. Jeez,
My
I
game
thought
is
we were doing
hella cute.
games.
Any requests for order?
I can
Listen
go
to your heart.
anywhere.
Okay. We'll do request second. We'll do John H first.
Oh, really?
We'll
Lead
do-
off. All right. Strong spot.
We'll do me third, David fourth, Jesse fifth. Okay, sweet.
Also, I love the idea of us secretly picking cute games. Like, every theme has a secret, secondary theme.
Mm. We usually discover
Ooh.
those over the course of the episode, but
Yeah.
the planning would be good.
And then the tunas would have to guess what the secret theme is.
Ooh.
It's like
Yeah,
in
they just have
Pokemon
to,
when
like,
you get the
solve a-
hidden ability.
Solve a puzzle.
Oh, man. We can make a Game
like-
That Tune alternate reality game.
Oh,
Or like a game that tune jumble where something from each of our games, forms like another theme or like a hint, like a word puzzle at the end of the episode. And if you solve it, I don't know, you don't get anything, but you get the honor of being, I don't know, an insane that tuna.
Although if we did do
Special
an
Discord role.
augmented alternate reality game, we couldn't call it GTT. We'd have to call it something completely obscure like Milk Carton.
Done.
Yes. Exactly.
That's the name now. Milk Carton. Welcome to milkcarton.com.
I was gonna say, wasn't it Halo that did like Bumblebee or something like that?
Yeah, I don't really remember it, but there was the whole thing they did.
No idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. All right.
Literally.
Who is ready for a countdown?
I am.
All right, let me warm up the soundboard. Okay. 5, 4.
Hey, wait, I didn't say me. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jeez, David's ready, so we must be ready.
Why you gotta call me out like that?
Because
You're the only one that said you were ready.
Yeah. Congratulations, David. You played yourself by saying.
I
you're
mean,
ready.
that's fair.
All right, I remembered I had done something with my recording thing, and I didn't want it to interfere with the episode. Messing around with ways to record things while not being at my computer. Say, an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours of music. So, see you on the next gyms. Okay, yeah, now I'm ready.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. It's ya boy John Harrington here, and we got John Regan with us. Say hey.
Hey.
We got Jesse Moore. Say hey.
Hey.
And we got David Fleming. Cast a spell on us, David.
Alakazam!
There he is. He summoned a Pokemon, everybody. Welcome back to Game That Tune. It's episode 194 in the house. And if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome and thank you for listening. What we're going to do here tonight is we've each brought songs from video games. We're going to listen to video game tunes. We've each got 3 songs from a game. We're going to try and guess each other's games with songs with a little bit of trivia. We're going to goof off. We're going to have a lot of fun. And the winner at the end of the night picks the theme for the next episode and plays a bonus tune. And our winner last week was the magical mystery man himself, Jesse Moore. And Jesse, you get to tell him the theme for tonight's episode. What'd you pick?
I picked games with magic.
Indeed. As we were preparing for this theme, I realized that's a lot of games to pick from, and I'm very happy you chose this theme. 1, plenty of games to pick from. 2, the magic puns pretty well write themselves. It's going to be a magical episode. I'm enchanted by this theme. Johnny, help me out here. I only had 2 magic puns ready.
Oh man, okay. Let's see. It's gonna be something fairy dust, something pixies.
He's so good at these.
Yeah.
Do we have to spell it out for you?
Oh god damn.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, I think this episode is going to be full of.
Why?
I think this episode is going to be full of cheers like rah rah cadabras.
Okay. Yes. David, I think, has officially cursed the show with that one. That's great start. But yeah, so games with magic. Not a whole lot of explanation necessary. You got you. Does everybody have enough MP to get through this episode? Check your items before we get started. Maybe you need to take an elixir or something. But we got a great show coming up. We got 5 great games. We got a great fan request, and really we just got to start up, Johnny. So throw those ingredients into the pot. Let's wait. What?
I was thinking earlier, I was like, oh no, someone's going to pick an NBA game because of the Orlando Magic and or Magic Johnson. So be ready.
Ooh. See, luckily we already, Johnny already cashed that chip in a while back with Magic Johnson's fast break. So if he doubled down on that and feels like reminding everybody of the canceled NBA season with an NBA game right now, then more power to him. But in the meantime,
I'm not gonna lie, I wish I thought of that right now.
Seriously, that's a genius fucking idea. In the meantime, I think we've got all the ingredients necessary for a fantastic show. So, Johnny, I got my pot going. Throw them in there. Let's stir up this potion and see what this episode transforms into.
Game 1.
Oh God, it's hideous. All right, guys. So, during development, the game designers felt that the game's perspective looked boring, resulting in them using an experimental style in which their 3D characters and objects were slightly skewed to face the game's camera. The skewed models can actually be seen in certain areas of the game when performing actions that shift the player's perspective. Oh, it's feeling great.
I'm feeling pretty good.
Everybody's
was
got
feeling
their
good.
answers ready?
So I was feeling good until I checked the list of games that we've already used, and now I'm feeling less good.
I'm intrigued by that. Oh, God. Jesse's got Penis Wizard. David says Golden Sun, which is sadly incorrect. And Johnny says Link Faces of Evil. What a fantastic guess, but that's incorrect. Johnny, you were on the right track with the series. It's The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds for the 3DS.
Ah,
Oh God!
Oh, that's a good one too.
you metadata.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
You metadata editing son of a bitch.
Yeah, Johnny, I set a trap and you fell right the fuck into it, man.
Damn
You
it.
think I would use Link Faces of Evil on this show? You motherfucker.
That makes
Give me a
so
little more
much
credit
sense
than
with
that.
the trivia now. Okay.
Yeah, I was actually really intrigued by that. That's really interesting. I hadn't thought about it, but like so this is the game for the 3DS that takes place in the Link Between the Past world. And they were trying to figure out a way to make kind of the same art style as Link to the Past, which, it's 16-bit, but like top down. But obviously they can just kind of draw things the way they want to have the perspective they want. And whoever was making this game, they're working on these 3D models, and they're like, man, this looks boring. Like what? It's just like rooftops and tops of heads and shit. You can't see anybody. And then it's like, okay, well, I mean, we're not like committed to this. Like we can figure out a way to make this work. So they just kind of slanted everybody a little bit, and so everything kind of faces more up, so you see a little bit more of the detail they were working on. And yeah, I was looking at like the Zelda like Pedia page for it or whatever, and they have like a shot of it where in certain areas when you go against the wall, as you do in this game, it shifts the perspective so you can see the wall, and you can see that like the rupees are at a slant and the statues are at a slant, and I'm just like, oh, that's actually, that's kind of a genius little tweak to make the world look a little bit better from the top down perspective. So good on them, designers of A Link Between Worlds. Good on you. Because this game is it's really great. I really enjoyed this game. I played the crap out of it, and then lost the charger for my 3DS, and I haven't played that system in a couple of years now. It's a real damn shame. But man, the time I spent with it was a lot of fun. This was a world that I didn't think I needed to revisit, and then when I did, I'm like, wait a minute. I forgot that A Link to the Past is like a fucking fantastic game. Like it's like one of my favorite Zelda worlds. It's so much fun to go back to. And then you add a little fresh perspective. You see things in a slightly different light, in a different angle, and it just jazzes up the whole experience. I really enjoyed it. David, I know you didn't play a whole lot of or care for like A Link to the Past necessarily as much as maybe I did, but did you play A Link Between Worlds?
I did play Link Between Worlds, and sorry, I caught myself. I have played Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds. I enjoyed Link Between Worlds more than Link to the Past. I actually really, really liked this game because of a lot of the new things it did. Like you had the item rentals, you had like everything was a lot more open to it. And you had the like wall changing mechanic where you could blend into walls and move along them. And I thought that brought out a lot of interesting puzzle opportunities. And when this game was doing stuff that was new and different and unique, I really enjoyed it. But when the game was reminding you that Link to the Past was a thing, like I kind of didn't enjoy it as much. Like, yeah, I could play Link to the Past, but I want to play this instead.
Right. See, I kind of felt the same way at times. It's like, I played Link to the Past plenty when I was a kid. I don't really need to like fully revisit the world. So like this world being set, I guess, a couple hundred years after A Link to the Past, that gave them the opportunity to change things a little bit. But it's like, you could have changed more. Like honestly, like just keep the map and have the like full blown, I don't know, like just remix all the areas. But it's a nice. It was nice after all that time to kind of go back into that world, and I think it satisfied the people that are always, clamoring for some kind of remake. Like, no, it doesn't need to be remade, but like a tribute with like some new levels and and kind of a tweaked story. Yeah, that's fine. Because the stuff you're talking about, I like that. This came at the time when they were, I guess, feeling like the Zelda series needed a little bit of a refresh, like. And they're like, okay, so how do we, kind of tweak around the gameplay formula? And like the item rental let you go to any dungeon you wanted first. And it's like, actually, that's a really cool idea. That's, it's a great idea. And then ultimately that, that kind of bled into them like full blown changing the formula for Breath of the Wild. It's like, just go wherever the fuck you want. Like, here's 4 items, go anywhere. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I guess that is, that's one way to do it too. Like, here's all the items right up front. Go. Do your thing. But I like the whole like becoming a painting mechanic. It's funny, as I was thinking of games for this episode, it's like it'd be nice to use a Zelda game, but we've used a lot of them, and really like the magic's always kind of an afterthought in those. Like you get a spell here and there, you get the little medallions in Link to the Past. I'm like, wait a minute, Link Between Worlds, there's a huge mechanic built into magically turning into a drawing and walking along the walls. Like that's the choice. I think I'd been waiting to use this one, and this was the perfect week to do it. So a magic heavy Zelda, good pick. But I mean, I like the game. I love A Link to the Past, and Link Between Worlds is fun. I like seeing like I said, they just kind of tweak the story. Like Link to the Past had the Light World, Dark World. This one has High Rule, Low Rule, and you get to meet characters from the other one. I think the thing that makes this game better is like a little bit more story and a little bit more characters. Those older Zelda games, especially Link to the Past, really kind of light on characters. It's like you're Link, you meet the sage, you go to the temples, the wizard banishes the thing, and you talk to the princesses as you unlock them from the crystals. This one, it's like, no, there's multiple characters with motivations. There's that really fucking weird villain who's, I guess, just kind of the, ultimately the final boss and the agent of chaos throughout the thing, just the, power-hungry weirdo of the whole game. But then you got, Princess Hilda, who's got her own motivations, and you got, the... what the fuck is the guy's name that rents you the items? Ravio.
Ravio.
You discover things about during the course of the game. It's it's cool. It's nice having more characters. And yeah, also speaking of things that were going on with Zelda at the time, what was up with I guess maybe it's just Skyward Sword and this having some weird ass like androgynous villains in them, like between Girahim and then Yuga in this, like they had some weird villains, weird antagonists going on. Like, I really thought Yuga was a big woman. And then it turns out, like, I'm reading descriptions, like, he was hungry for power. I'm like, he was? Are you kidding? Like, he wears so much makeup. Like, that's...
He is
sure.
Very fabulous.
Yes. Yeah, and he loves painting, and, it's not until he merges with Ganon and gets a buff set of pecs, I'm like, I guess it is a dude. Like I was willing to let it be fluid. Like what an androgynous character they came up with, man. It's a wild one, but a cool one.
Still, he remains one of the best characters in Hyrule Warriors. Like,
oh, see, yeah, I didn't even know he was in it. Does he kick ass with a paintbrush?
He does. He was added as DLC in the 3DS version, then like obviously put into the Switch version because it's the ultimate version. And yeah, he's like practically broken.
Okay.
Like,
can he banish people into the second dimension?
That's actually, I think it's his like magic attack where he actually summons the paint frame and like spins it on, and it causes a giant explosion.
Nice. Yeah. See, I like it, man. It's an interesting it's an interesting mechanic, like painting and paint frames and like that whole aesthetic. It seems like they would have tried to put that more on the Wii. They would have gotten swept up in like the Okami madness of being able to use motion controls to paint things, and they would have been like, yeah, let's do that painting Zelda on the Wii. And someone was like, no, it's a good idea, but we don't really need to fucking do all that. Let's just put that into the Link to the Past remake we're working on. Like, okay, sure, good enough. Like, it's Link to the Past, but everybody likes to paint. Cool. That's enough for a new game. Sold American. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm glad that we hadn't used it yet, quite frankly. I was I'm getting critically low on Zelda picks for the show. Like, because God knows I never played Triforce Heroes. So I don't know what I'm going to do here in the next 200 episodes or so. I'm kind of going through my my wheelhouse. But anyway,
is Triforce Heroes the last Zelda game that we've used?
Triforce Heroes is probably the only mainline Zelda game we haven't used.
Okay,
if you want to call it that, which according to some Wikipedia pages, it is. I was not aware of that, but yeah, that game looked dumb, and I didn't play it. So I hate to say such things about a Zelda game, but no, I didn't go for that one. But yeah. Link. See, I'm stumbling over it every single time I try to say it. I love A Link to the Past. I love A Link Between Worlds. Great game. Frankly, I wish they would do kind of like a Link Between Worlds, update for the Switch or something like that. Because, like I said, I lost my 3DS charger. That thing's done. I would love to play this game again and see it up on the big screen. I'm sure those 3D, those great looking 3D models from 3DS blow up perfectly onto an HD TV. I bet that it would look fantastic. But yeah, some kind of update or re-release or a refresh of this would be pretty great, because they've made A Link to the Past available just by pressing a fucking button on your Switch. So like get on some of these remakes for more recent games or re-releases at least. Because I'd like to revisit them on a system that I can charge. So yeah, and soundtrack's great. Primary composer on the soundtrack, Ryo Nagamatsu. Shout out to him. And yeah, it's just a really great game, and I think it's a fun way to revisit things and refresh things without just going full remake. So Glad we got to use on the show. And Johnny, it's time to shift yourself into the second dimension. Go slap yourself against the wall. Go inside your closet, and when you come back, bring us the next game.
All right, that's a weird thing to do. All right, I'll be right back.
Let's see.
Game 2.
You can't do it, guys. Pathetic.
All right, so let's see. IGN reviewed this game a 5 out of 7, saying legend has it that the publisher thought the quality of this product was so low that it would be worthless or worse, damaging to even publish the game in the States. It was published in the States. And whether or not that's actually true, the quality assessment at its heart is on target because this game is certainly the worst of its franchise trilogy. They described the graphics as bland and ugly, and particularly criticized that the gameplay showed no advancement from the first game, even removing some of the advancements seen in the second game. Would you like me to read another snippet from another review?
Sure.
I would
John.
just like you to confirm, because in that trivia, it was talking about like the prequel and the sequel. Like, which game is this?
This is the third.
Is this the first? The third? Okay.
Third in the trilogy. The graphics are by far some of the most plain looking on this console. The new magic effects aren't as impressive as before. If you're considering purchasing this title from an overseas seller, don't waste your bucks.
A lot of emphasis there.
I'm really selling this game. Let's see here. John says Splatterhouse 3, which is incorrect. David says Shining Force 3, which is incorrect. Jesse says you said 5 out of 7.
Seriously, what the fuck was that?
Oh, 5 out of 10. That's my bad.
Yeah, what kind of fucking IGN review?
Whack.
That's whoops. This is Golden Axe 3 for the Sega Genesis.
Oh.
Huh.
That's the all
What the
wrong
fuck?
sound now.
I thought it was the other sound.
Yeah, I changed it, and I kind of regret that, and I want to change it back right now.
What the fuck is going on right now?
So, this is Golden Axe 3 for the Sega Genesis, published in the US exclusively on the Sega Channel.
Oh, fuck you, John. No wonder it didn't show up on my list of Genesis games.
See, you were looking up list of Genesis games. I was looking up IGN 5 out of 7.
God,
And that's when I
not
couldn't
gonna
find
get to it
anything.
Yeah, me too. And I'm like, this is no.
I can't believe I said 5 out of 7. That's entirely my bad. I really meant.
I meant to
5 out of 10.
fucking call you out on it, but I didn't want to interrupt your trivia. You just kept going. But like, that trivia didn't make any sense. Who rates games on a scale out of 7?
A perfect 5 out of 7.
Yeah. Ugh.
5 out of 7, too much water, IGN.
Yes. Now, Johnny, going to your next point, what the fuck did you do to the "everybody got it wrong" sound?
I replaced it with the Super Mario World Game Over music, but I realized it's like too nice.
Yeah, it sounds like we're all going to bed. What the fuck
See,
was
I didn't
that?
even recognize it as the Mario World Game Over. I thought it was the Piranha Plant, like, sleepy music from Mario 64.
Right now, I vaguely recognize it. I've gotten game overs in Super Mario World so seldom, but it's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? That was pleasant. No. We need something that really tells us that we fucked up for getting it all wrong. What the hell, John?
We had such a cooler sound lined up.
Yeah. Anyway,
I like how we went from like game over to la.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dream on, motherfucker. You didn't get this one right.
When are you gonna tuck us in?
Yeah. You gonna give everybody a kiss on the forehead for getting the game wrong, John?
Yes.
Tell us a fucking story.
Yeah. Gonna open up Yoshi's storybook, you fuck.
You fuck.
So
now I
then
want
the,
like the actual like hardcore game over sound to end with "Mwah, sleep well."
Yeah. It's okay. Tuck yourself in. Yeah. Anyway, the other thing, Johnny, Golden Axe 3 for real? Like, I didn't even know there was Golden Axe 3.
Yeah, I actually think this music is pretty sweet, which is what drove me to choose this game.
Oh yeah.
Like, this soundtrack is kind of awesome. It's very reminiscent of like sort of like a fake late 80s sound, which I think is really popular right now. That, outrunny or synth wavy, kind of sound. Like, that's what it reminds me of, especially that third track. The game itself is fine. It's basically just Golden Axe 1. But, there is a few new additions. In the multiplayer mode, you can do combined spell casting. So you can both cast this magic at the same time, and it'll come up with like a combined effect. Like, one character summons a dragon, one character floods everything. So if you do the combined thing, it's like a water dragon shows up. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, that's kind of dope.
And then they have some interesting characters. So there's 4 playable characters instead of 3. You've got like your balanced guy. I'm sorry, is it? 4 playable characters. You got your balanced guy. You got your like lady, spellcaster. You've got a big beefy dude, and then you've also got a like humanoid panther weirdo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
He looks like a mix of
They-
Nightcrawler and Beast is the best way to describe him. Like Nightcrawler, but kind of, jacked up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Did they cut out Gilius Thunderhead the dwarf?
Yeah, he shows up at the very beginning, like cutscene, like to set you off on your journey, and that's it. He doesn't show up again in the rest of the game.
That's
Okay,
fine.
fuck this game.
Yeah. David likes Gilius. No Gilius, no Delius for David. But frankly, I'm interested in this jacked ass panther man. That's scratching my Thundercats itch. Like, did they just they steal Panthro from Thundercats? Is this a crossover, John?
I think so. He's probably the most powerful character in the game because he has a super move where he turns himself into a projectile, like it's a unblockable, screen with attack kind of thing. Where
So wait, he's part panther, part man, part juggernaut?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
See, for a second, I thought you were going to say he turns himself into a panther. It's like, that's not that impressive. He's halfway there already.
He
Like,
devolves into a panther. He loses his humanity. It's awesome. More importantly, now that I've said this, why is there not a Thundercats beat 'em up? That seems like it really would have written itself by now and would have been played the fuck out of by me and David and everybody on this show. Like, seriously, where's a really dope Thundercats beat 'em up? That would be the shit. Yeah.
Oh, man.
God, could you imagine if you could summon like assist characters by pointing the Sword of Omens and like hailing them in?
Fuck yeah,
Snarf,
man.
snarf.
Snurf everywhere.
Oh, Lionel.
I thought, if he was a playable character, that's who I would choose every time, no matter what.
Johnny gets Snurf every time. Is it Snurf or is it Snarf?
I think it's
Snarf.
Snarf.
Yeah.
Snarf,
Okay,
snarf,
sorry.
Lionel.
Snarf.
It's been a while on Thundercats. I apologize. But childhood me would have freaked the fuck out if there was a rentable Thundercats game at
man.
Blockbuster. Like, I would have rented it as many times as possible in the lead up to birthday or Christmas, and then asked for it for my birthday or Christmas. Like, I need that game. Yeah, that would be fucking cool. Cooler than Golden Axe on the Sega Channel, I dare say.
Sega Channel exclusives. Now, this did get
Yeah, so
released
Johnny,
on the
you-
Virtual Console in the U.S. later.
Yes, the Wii Virtual Console, the console that Johnny played the most of.
And that's
Played,
where that 5 out of 10
yeah.
review came from, was IGN reviewing the Virtual Console version.
What the
5 out
fuck,
of
man?
7?
Yeah. How are they gonna give something a 5 out of 7 when it's seeing a fucking like a wide release for the first time ever? Like, you should be so lucky that this even came out. What did they have to say about the fucking Sega Channel back in the day? Oh, nothing, because they weren't a company yet. Like, seriously, man, fuck IGN. Fuck their ratings. It's ridiculous. Like,
Okay, so,
I'm sure this game is a 5 out of 10, but you don't have to say it. Like,
I was curious. There was a video game based on the 1987 Thundercats show. It was a single-player action game, but only available on like the Amiga and the Commodore 64. Like, it was never ported to the NES. It's like,
that's fucked. That's so fucked up. Like, I unbelievable. I'm furious to know that.
like X-Men Arcade, but with Thundercats. Sounds like a home run.
Yeah, that sounds like a home run today. Like, what the fuck? That's a really good idea. Like, I'm getting all mad that it doesn't exist. Like, that's fucking crazy. That would be a really good game.
Could you imagine the 16-bit theme music?
Fuck
man.
yeah. Oh, and just the voice work in that would be fantastic.
That Mumra sprite,
gonna-
would be awesome.
Oh, man.
I was gonna say, like,
God.
the digitized Sega Genesis version of "Ho!"
Just somehow it comes out like, did you just copy and paste the Colossus roar into this game? Yes, we did. I'm sorry. It's a good roar.
It's like the Wilhelm scream, but Colossus.
Yeah. That's every cartoon character's yell for the 16-bit generation. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah. So Johnny, have you've never actually played Golden Axe 3 then, I bet?
I have not. Because it came
That's
out
a
exclusively
damn
on the
shame,
Sega
man.
Channel, and as much as I asked my parents to call our cable provider and ask for the Sega Channel, they refused.
I like how you
How about
say
the
it came
channel
out
instead?
exclusively on the Sega Genesis channel, but the review is for the Wii Virtual Console release.
Well, initially,
Still never played.
exclusively.
Yeah, that trivia was fucked, John. Just admit it. It's like-
So bad.
my question, though, you can make it up to everybody by streaming yourself playing some Golden Axe 3. Does your company care that you're working from home and you might stream on Twitch during the day? Would that get you fired immediately, or
Probably
they would even notice?
They would probably not notice, but I think that would be like, I would do that, and that'd be the one time something actually happens, like really bad, and I have to go deal with it immediately.
I think you got to take the chance, John.
guys,
Just wear a mask so they don't know it's
Yeah.
you.
Oh, dude, yeah, this is the perfect time to roll out Johnny's new like lucha character for fucking streaming games during the day while on furlough because of this fucking virus thing. Like, just stream as okay. So yeah, we need a good alias for Johnny. I'm challenging the chat to come up with a good character alias for Johnny. I will accept submissions of drawings. But in the meantime, Johnny, if there's nothing else, I think we got to move on to the next game.
Game 3.
What was it? Okay. The North American version of this game includes new abilities for the main character that are not seen in the original Japanese version. All right, this is our fan request from Muddle Madness in the Discord. How you guys feeling?
Pretty good. Better now that you say that.
Yeah. All right, Johnny says Sonic goes to Hogwarts, which is correct. No, incorrect. Oh man. David says Tales of Symphonia, incorrect. John says Tales of the Abyss, which is correct. Oh, so close.
Cool.
Yeah, this is Tales of the Abyss. Unfortunately, the Tales games are a kind of a blind spot for me in my RPG games. I have played a little bit of this one though.
Is this the one? This came out back in like the 80s. Is the one that's like they're in the underwater research station?
No, that's a movie.
Oh, hell! Then I don't know what this is.
So the weird thing about this game for me is it reminds me of a certain time in my life because it's so weird. I was a security guard at the mall, and I'd always like to go hang out at the EB Games by the movie theater. And this game was always on like a track mode on their TVs. And so much so I eventually had to buy it. And I played a little bit of it. And I just remember the anime cutscene all the time at the fucking the EB Games.
So yeah. Man, I wish this reminded me of a time in my life. This is like drawing fucking a blank for me. So this is actually, so David said Tales of Symphonia. That was pretty close. Like, how thorough is this Tales series? I didn't realize this was such a thing. I thought
There's a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think Tales of Destiny was the first one, Or no, Tales of Fantasia on the Super Nintendo, I believe.
Okay. And that's the
then-
one with like the little dancing mushrooms and Mickey Mouse?
No, that's something else.
Fuck!
You're
That's-
close. That's Castle of Illusion.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Then on the PlayStation was like Tales of Destiny, and I think there was a Tales of Destiny 2. And then
That
just
one
go
was
on
like
from there.
the looty shooty game, like you team
No,
up
no,
with people.
that's just Destiny and Destiny 2.
Fuck!
You're close.
You say looty shooty?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
Schluter.
Yeah, looter, schluter, looty shooty.
I've never heard this phrase. This sounds like a kind of game I would enjoy, though, because I love looting, I love shooting.
Johnny,
Oh man,
dude, yeah, looty shooty might be right up your alley. That
there's a bunch of
Oh,
new games out.
somebody want to get Johnny a copy of Borderlands, please?
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
see, I was thrown off because when you were saying Looty, you were saying Looty Looty, and I thought you were saying Looty Leuwdy. I was like, so
Oh.
like a shmup with just big tits everywhere, or
That
Different,
sounds-
yeah, different kind of shooty when it's that kind of looty.
Damn
Oh.
it. That's not what I want. Ah,
What are you doing, Sean?
What the fuck?
I forget where I put the hot take sound. Oh,
It was the hot thing.
that'll work.
Pepsi Man.
why is
been on the
Pepsi Man
soundboard
not
this
the
whole
game over sound? Like that should be the all three of us get it wrong sound.
What the hell?
Pepsi Man.
Oh, okay. So anyway, Tales series. Jesse, keep naming them because I clearly have a bit going. I have no idea what any of these are.
Yeah, so the thing about them is their battle systems, or it's like a side scrolly 2D beat 'em up kind of thing almost. It's an action RPG, I guess would be what you'd call it actually. And they're very like fast paced and stuff. You like control the main character and the other characters are like AI. That I just don't know why I've never really gotten into them. I'm hoping I can try out the new one when it comes out.
Oh, word! There's another one coming out.
I believe so. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the Xbox or not, but if it is, I'll probably check it out.
Huh. Yeah, there it is. Tales of Arise. Do people realize this is a series, or is it just kind of an unsaid thing? Like, because it
No,
seems like
It's got a pretty decent fan base.
okay, yeah, it just seems like it's. I don't want to say bland, but like, the series is the word Tales like begins your game title. It's like I'm pretty sure there's some other games that do that too. You probably are confusing people by not making these a really clearly or like uniquely denoted series, but. Maybe that's just me. My severe blind spot for these things. Because fuck me, there's like 20 fucking games in this series, and I didn't know any of them were related, except I thought David. I remember many episodes ago mentioning the Tales series. I was like, yeah, the Tales of Symphonia series. Thinking that's what he meant. It's like I didn't know they changed the word on all of them. How was I supposed to know all these games were related? This is crazy. Yeah.
Well, I think it's kind of like the Final Fantasy thing, and that they're not really like related. It's just the next Tales game. If that makes
Sure.
sense. So
I guess so. The Final Fantasy does a pretty good job of saying Final Fantasy to denote that it's a continuing series. There's no confusion on that. It's like, oh, okay, Final Fantasy, Crystal Chronicles, Crystal Bearers, blah blah blah, Mystery Dungeon. I'm like, still a Final Fantasy game, very clearly, cool. Tales.
This is the
like,
series that This is the series that Lloyd Irving is from, right?
from Symphonia, I think it's from Symphonia. Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, like
At
the
least in
Tales
anything-
series.
Yeah. Well, this isn't the game he's from.
Word.
Lloyd is from Symphonia, I believe.
I was gonna say, have we said anything specific to Tales of the Abyss?
No, all I know is the main character has red hair, and there's a little girl who rides around on a gigantic teddy bear, which is pretty cool.
Okay, nope.
and there's a lot of magic. And
that tends to be the case in RPGs. Obviously,
I hear Vesperia is really good, and it has a dog that smokes from a pipe.
Okay, now
That's
you
always
have
a
my
plus.
attention. Quite frankly, ooh, pipe smoking dog. That's if that were a YouTube video, it would have gotten like a couple billion views by now. So you throw that in a game, and now we're talking. That's I'm intrigued by this dog and its pipe. I like it. I feel bad, like as I tend to when we get requests for these blind spot RPGs that we all are aware of, and then realize that I'm not very aware of, and they all look cool, and they're a thing I kind of like looking. It's like, I wish I had played that. I like the anime style, and I like that it's not necessarily a traditional like RPG battle system, but like. No, fuck me. I didn't even know about this game until you could have said Tales from the Abyss, and I could and asked me when that game came out and like what kind of game it was, and I would have taken a good crack at it to be like, oh, that's probably like an indie game. They probably made that last year, and it's like a roguelike, but it takes place in like watery dungeons, and I would have had. No, I would have said that with confidence. Like, yeah, sure, that's probably what it is. I'll give myself 90% confidence that that's what this is. And instead, it's like this fucking, charming continuation of a classic RPG series that I didn't even realize was a fucking series. So, I don't know, man. These, do you think is there any reason to fear jumping in with the next release? Like, if these games are so loosely connected, like if the next Tales game comes out and I want to play that, do you think there's any reason for me to have to go back and play any of the prior Tales games?
Not at all.
Okay, thank God. Because I'm looking at pictures of of Tales of the Abyss now. I'm like, that looks pretty fucking cool. And I like an action RPG, and I like a charming anime style. But man, there's so many fucking games. Please God, don't let there be plot threads that carry through these things. There can't be, can there?
I think Vesperia was remade on Switch.
Okay,
so
worth a gander. I like it. Cool tunes. A cool game. The as I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, shouting out, fucking GTT Mount Rushmore member Motoi Sakuraba. Surprise, surprise. He turns up for another RPG soundtrack. I was looking at the game stats for the, games and composers and things we've used. That guy's on the mount. We need to design a GTT Mount Rushmore, and it's going to be, I think, like three charming Japanese composers and Tim Fallon. I think it's going to be really it's going to be a really spectacular mountain.
God,
Johnny, have you checked the Patreon account lately? Do we have enough to buy a mountain?
We might. I bet we could buy a mountain in not in the United States, but there's probably some poorer nation where we could buy a mountain. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Johnny, do not name another country because I don't want to get us banned internationally.
In that joke right now. But yeah, so Johnny, head on over to Stone Mountain, Georgia. See if we can buy that mountain from them and carve it into the GTT Mount Rushmore. People in Georgia, they like Yoko Shimomura, Koji Kondo, and Motoi Sakuraba and Tim Fallon, right? Like they wouldn't
sure
mind.
As hell better.
Yeah,
they wouldn't mind us carving up that mountain.
It'd be a nice improvement.
People in Georgia would probably like 1/4 of that.
You're saying the people in Georgia are big Yoko fans, David? They you calling them Shima morons?
Say it, but
say the whole state of Georgia is a bunch of Shima morons?
I mean, I didn't say it, but I think it's pretty obvious what I meant.
I want that on a shirt.
If she doesn't have a fan club and it's not called the Shima morons, then
what is she doing?
How seriously, Yoko, you're not marketing yourself very well because that just wrote itself. And I'm starting that fan club. That one's going in the shop. Let's get on Fiverr. Let's get a Yoko Shima moron shirt, like a cool Yoko Shimomura fan shirt to sell. Oh, that's solid gold. Anyway, Jesse, anything else on the Tales series, or anything related to anything we've just been talking about? I've lost the thread.
I second the idea of that shirt.
Oh God, yeah, and actually, real quick, Chrono in the chat, fucking, even better than Shima Morons, Georgia people that like Yoko just call them yokels. It's that's also a very good idea. The yokels of Shima Moros. Oh, what a good idea. What a fan club. So yeah, Johnny, start the Georgia-based Yoko Shimamura fan club. The yokels of Shimamura.
Wait, why do I have to do that? You both live considerably closer to Georgia than I do.
Johnny, you're working from home. You have nothing to do.
Fair.
Am I wrong?
You're 100% right. Hell
yeah, good.
I'll
get a train ticket tomorrow morning.
Thank God. Thank you very much, Muddle Madness, for the request. Awesome game. Let's move on.
Game 4.
According to the game's intro, this game takes place in the far-off distant year of 1999. This game was released in 1991. I have an additional piece of trivia if anyone would like that.
Yes, please.
So this game was originally supposed to be a licensed game based on the 1986 anime based off The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. However, the copyrights were held by a different company, so the designers were unable to use it. The main character, however, was still named Dorothy, in reference to Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, that just clarifies everything.
All right, who's finished Googling Dorothy?
How fast do you think we Google, David? Come on.
I mean, Johnny's still writing, so. All right. Jesse has a drawing of a penis with a wizard hat, which is the closest. John Harrington says Final Fight Future, and John Regan says The Hunt for Red October. Sadly, everyone is incorrect. This is the Cryon Conquest.
Okay.
Or as it is known in Japan, Magical Kids Doropi.
What?
Oh,
Wait, what was this called in the US?
Okay. The Cryon Conquest. In Japan, it was called Magical Kids Doropi.
All right, so
So
tell us about this.
I was going to say, so we all have fond memories of this game, right?
I mean, okay, seriously, real talk, David. There are very few times on this show where I've literally never heard of a game. Like, I'll say that sometimes, and it's like a bit, and I feel like I've usually got a pretty good handle on what exists and what doesn't. And I gotta say, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, what? The Cryon Conquest? That I have literally never heard of that.
So this game, it was developed and published by a company called Vic Tokai on the NES. And
oh man, I love those guys. They made King Salmon.
They also did Clash at Demon Head.
Fuck yeah!
This game, it's literally off-brand Mega Man. Like, seriously, if you look at screenshots, like, the main character even resembles the Mega Man sprite. And it's essentially a game about a little witch girl who has to defeat an evil empire of robots. All of the enemies fucking look like Mega Man enemies, and she attacks them and goes through platforming challenges, all while using her various magical spells. So she has like a main magic attack, she has a fire attack, an ice attack, she has a ball one that bounces, she can summon a broom, and she changes her different abilities by pulling up a menu and selecting them, and it's literally Mega Man if Mega Man was a little girl.
A little witch girl instead of a super fighting robot. Yeah, I'm looking at screenshots now. This looks dope, actually. Like, it looks like a Mega Man fan game, but like I'm into it. Like,
some of these cutscene stills that I'm finding look pretty sweet. They look very like Blade Runner dystopian almost, but you're playing a witch.
Why is a cute little witch fighting giant evil robots?
So the story of the game is the evil Cryon Empire, which is like a mechanical robot empire, invades Earth and conquers Earth. So like one last person summons up a witch girl because magic is the only thing the robots are weak to. So you play as a witch who uses magic to defeat evil robots. And you go through various platforming challenges. It's not like Mega Man in the sense that you choose your own stage. It's much more linear. You go through, I think it's 3 different stages in each world, and then you fight a boss. But yeah, it's off-brand Mega Man, and it's actually really fucking fun. You select your different magic spells, and you go through. Some of them they're kind of weird because you have like your main attack. you have an attack that like bounces off of walls and everything, like, okay. And then you have your fire spell, which you can charge up and turn into a phoenix, and kind of like, it's like a screen clearing weapon, but it also takes off like half of your health. So it's good because you can kill everything on screen, but also like you're gonna kill yourself doing it. So I don't think they quite learned how to balance it exactly.
Wait, so you can actually kill yourself with it? It doesn't like take your life down to 1 and like, that's just your last chance to use it?
I don't know, because once I used it once and got to half health, I was like, oh, well, fuck it. I'm never using this again.
Probably shouldn't do that. Yeah. That's because, I was like, I kind of hated that mechanic in like Final Fight where like, I'm kicking ass with all these lariats. It's like, wait a minute, how's my health so low? Oh, shit. It's like, just imagine Hagar doing one more lariat and then dying promptly. Like, hey. Probably should program that to not be the way it goes. Like he probably wouldn't lariat himself to death. So
I don't know. Knowing Mike Hagar, he might.
Depends on the situation.
He at least would need a nudge after all those lariats.
But yeah, it uses magic, and one thing that I like about this game as opposed to the Mega Man games, I can't help but compare it to Mega Man because seriously, if you're listening in podcast form, look up a screenshot. Like, that's what it is. Like, it's what it is. But one thing that I like about it is you got a charge shot, which Mega Man didn't have at the time. And also your magic spells don't use a meter. So you can switch between them freely and use them constantly.
Okay, so yeah, I was worried about that because you're like, it's a ripoff Mega Man. I'm like, tell me there's not magic meters. Like, oh, that's like with Wolverine having no healing factor or whatever the fuck, his mutant power running out in the NES game. Like, please don't tell me it exhausts her magic power. Like, she's a witch. Just let her use all the powers.
I do have one
question.
No,
you can freely choose them.
I'm
sorry, yes.
I see a screenshot of her standing on what looks like a broom. Can you call a broom and fly on it similar to the Rust Jet?
Yes. One of the magic spells is a broom, and you summon a broom, and it's not like, item 2 in Mega Man 2 where you just fly constantly. Like, you can go forward, backwards, you can go up and down, and while you're using it, you can still shoot.
So you're saying it makes the Rust Jet a piece of shit?
I mean, I didn't say that, but yes.
Jeez, man, Rust Jet was cool.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, seriously, Johnny, how are you not manning the hot take board right now? What's wrong with you?
That's the honk take.
Yeah, it does. Raise the question though. If you can just summon an endless, anti-platforming broom, how do you program a challenging like platform game into that? But I assume that something comes along and knocks you off your broom. I don't know, but if I was playing that game, man, I'd be on that broom all the time.
Now,
I love flying in NES games. Gotta have it.
How far into development did they drop the Wizard of Oz concept? Because I'm really having a hard time seeing.
That's another question.
where would Bert Lahr fit into this game? It really, I don't see where he would.
Did you go, Johnny? Before you answer, David, did you Google the fucking cast of Wizard of Oz, or do you have a strange back corner of your brain that contains the names of the actors from the Wizard of Oz?
I love Jack Haley and Ray Bolger.
Okay, gotcha. Cool. It's a Googling thing. Yeah. Oh, you could have just said Judy Garland, John. It wouldn't have raised any red flags. Instead, I'm just like, here he is. Name of the actor that played the Cowardly Lion, like a fucking weirdo.
How do you know that off the top of your head?
How do I know that Bert Lahr played the Cowardly Lion and not the Tin Man or the Scarecrow?
Yes.
Please, John. I'm a big Wizard of Oz fan.
I'm surprised that we've gone this far into a discussion of the cast of Wizard of Oz and not brought up Margaret Hamilton.
Yeah. Ass.
I mean, the game that we're discussing is about a little witch. How are we not going to talk about the actress who plays the Wicked Witch of the West?
So
that's a good point.
Were you going to play?
Yeah, it was
as the Wicked Witch of the West because you're playing. Because Dorothy wasn't a witch, right? I mean, that's what I don't remember her being a witch in the movie.
Johnny, geez, when's the last time you saw The Wizard of Oz?
It's been a bit, and I was listening to Dark Side of the Moon. I really don't know what was going on.
I was kind of zoning in and out.
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen The Wizard of Oz, but I watched The Wiz recently. That's basically the same, right?
Yeah, game checks out. It is odd that they would go from a Wizard of Oz license game to a game in which you're playing as a witch fighting future robots. Like that's a big swing, man. Like because there's only one robot in the Wizard of Oz, and he's friendly. I mean, God, imagine this thing being like, the Wizard of Oz 2 after story of Wizard of Oz : like Revenge of the Tin Men.
What about like the Wheelers and stuff?
No, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, maybe it was supposed to be a Wizard of Oz prequel where you're the Wicked Witch of the West fucking up the Tinkerers as they build more Tin Men to fight you.
That's probably what it was. That all sounds real, and if it's not, I'm not questioning it. That's definitely Wizard of Oz canon that David just recited. Very matter of factly. It's what an intriguing ride this game is. Like, just from Wizard of Oz to witch and robots. Like, that doesn't seem like a just like right click export for like new thing. Like, somebody had to do a lot of tweaking to get that game to where it was. Like, what am I supposed to do with all these adorable little girl sprites? Like, fuck, I don't know, man. Well, we programmed her with a bunch of magic spells that Dorothy didn't even have. Okay, hold on, we can change this. Like, shit. Okay, I got it. What if Dorothy was the witch? We also lost the rights to the name Dorothy. Fuck me.
Apparently in the US...
we can fix it. It's still good.
Apparently in the US manual, they just didn't name her.
It's probably for the best.
She was originally supposed to be called Francesca, and the game was supposed to be called, I think, Francesca's Wand, and then they, for some reason, changed it to the Cryon Conquest. So they're like, nah, that's not going to appeal. We need something more badass.
That is a way more badass name. Like,
it's truly more badass. Francesca's Wand definitely sounds like a sex product, but like, it's still just like, who are you going to sell this to? Like,
well, it's interesting that you bring that up because as I was reading and researching this game, apparently there was a lot of pushback on having the main character be a young witch girl because they're like, oh, games starring girls like don't sell. No, only boys play video games. Like, we need a male protagonist. But like the developers were really pushing for a little girl as the character. And also, I do want to bring up, while I was researching this game, this line in particular made me laugh. Quote, a sequel was planned, but Nintendo had just released the SNES. The new developer kit was too expensive, so they decided not to create a sequel. It's like, let's make a new sequel to this game. Hey, we got the SNES kit. Yeah, nah.
yeah.
Looks real nice. We could never afford one of those.
$500. Get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think? We actually sold copies of this Cryon Conquest? Fuck.
But they did port this game to mobile phones in Japan in the like mid 2000s, so it did come back.
Okay, well, in that case, yeah, bring it all the way back, man. They've done reclamation projects on games before. I mean, like, didn't we feature it a while ago? Didn't they make something finally worthwhile out of the Gianna sisters? Like, that used to just be a Mario ripoff. It's like, hey, yeah, okay. Yeah, we admit it. This was a Mega Man ripoff starring a little witch. But guess what? She's back. Fucking start pasting up billboards in Japan like, Dorothy is back. And people are going to be like, whoa, hold up. And like, they're going to roll this thing out for the Olympics this year. Dorothy's going to be the new mascot. It's going to fucking blow everybody's mind.
Lights the Olympic torch.
Yeah, flies in our little witch broom, lights the torch, and announces the release of fucking Cryon Conquest HD remix. That's it's as real as anything that's actually going to happen at the Olympics this year.
I mean, to be fair, like if this game came out on like downloadable service, if this was a Steam game, like we would all look at this like, I don't know, this looks pretty fucking great. Like,
yeah.
It's dying for a comeback, man.
Seriously, haven't been playing like the fucking Monster Boy game with the charming fucking, just like update to a classic formula? I'm like, yeah, give me a charming new witch I'm into it. Like that, that's a great idea. And oh man, imagine these robots in like a brand new, charming hand-drawn art style. Like these things would be fucking terrifying. So let's get a Kickstarter going for new Dorpy. Now do we carry on the name Dorpy, or do we really double down on Cryon Conquest?
Ooh. We could do both.
Why not both?
Dorpy's Cryon Conquest.
Mm-hmm.
Starring
That's
Dorpy. Get the name of their twice.
Oh God! See, I'm also just picking, like, what if they had pulled like a Rusty in Japan and just called this game Dorpy, like, and just had a cute little witch on the cover. People just like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's such a weird like Japanese translation of the name Dorothy. Like, what do we have here exactly? You're giving me nothing with this name, this Dorpy. Dorpy wasn't a witch. Probably should buy the game and find out. That's probably a really good idea. But yeah, no, David, what a fascinating pick. This is truly enlightening for me. Seriously, I'm peeling off all veneers of like being knowledgeable about something. This is, no. What?
It's a pretty cool game, and it's got a pretty great soundtrack. I do want to take a second to shout out Kiyoshi Yokoyama and Masaki Kase, because those 8-bit tunes, they're pretty fucking great.
Yeah, I like it. I'm gonna have to look up more Vic Takai games and see what these people worked on. I'm sure they cranked out at least 2 more games before that company couldn't afford the SNES development kit and went belly up. So I'm intrigued by that. Excellent pick, David. So you get to send us the next game. Cast a spell on Johnny to make him send us the next game, and do it in the style of Dorpy from the game, please.
Broom.
Game 5.
Oh my God, he's got a broom in his ass.
Nope.
All right.
Sorry.
Let's see.
Sorry, that's my bad.
Jeez. Okay. Each stage is presented with the name of the mid-boss encountered, and keeping with the magic theme, is titled as a magical seal. And each level has a mid-boss and an end boss. So just some bonus trivia that kind of blew my hair back. This game was developed by Quest, and the team that made it would later go on to work on Ogre Battle, Tactics Ogre, and Final Fantasy Tactics, which is crazy. Especially because this game is so different than those. Man, you guys are having an art contest, it looks like.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Oh, fuck. Okay, Johnny drew a penis with a wizard hat and a staff. Incorrect. John says Shining Force 4. That is incorrect. And David is writing an entire paragraph. It was the worst.
Shading those balls.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, he cast a giant penis spell as a dude. Okay, cool.
I think it's a penis patronus.
Oh, expecto penis. Anyways, this is Magical Chase on the TurboGrafx 16. Of course, you guys have played this.
Oh yeah. Right.
But it's
I'm
very
so glad
magical.
we
changed it to Pepsi Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Set that in stone, John. Commit it to memory.
It's very magical, and it comes right after the perfect game because this also features a little witch girl who shoots magic, but she flies on her broom the whole time. And this game is it is a delight. It's a shoot 'em up. Like this one in particular could be referenced as a cute 'em up because it's very cute. It's very rare and expensive as well. but it is a fucking delight to play. It just reinforces the fact that I wish I had a TurboGrafx 16 because it seems like a really fun system.
Yeah, it seems like they had a couple of highlights, man. This I'm looking at it now, and yeah, this looks pretty fucking cute. I like a cute 'em up. Yeah, I don't know if I would have liked a cute 'em up at the time that the TurboGrafx 16 was a thing. I think I would have been too much of a little boy for a cute 'em up.
Yeah.
But man, now I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, no, that looks great. I would play that. Like, we were just talking last week about weird shoot 'em ups. I mean, we had Dragon Spirit where you're playing as a dragon. Like, how about when we were playing as a cute little witch girl? Like, hell yeah.
They had shoot 'em ups for everything on the TurboGrafx. It was a pretty big shoot 'em up machine.
I was gonna say, I feel like the TurboGrafx is known for shoot 'em ups.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this
give me
one.
some examples because I don't know what the TurboGrafx is known for besides like Bonk.
Well, Dragon Spirit last week's
Thunder Force,
Thunder Force.
Bird.
Air Zonk.
Yeah, Erzonk. That's good.
Thank you. See, yep, that's a name I know. Not a game I've played, but thank you. I at least know that. So well observed, David. You got me zonked.
Oh,
I got you air zonked.
Ooh, careful with that. So Jesse, you obviously you've played this incredibly rare TurboGrafx 16 game.
Yes, I rented it.
Yeah,
at
as everybody did back in the day. Went to that very fancy Blockbuster with the TurboGrafx 16 games.
Yeah, it's fun though. You fly around. There's a lot of stuff is happening on screen. It's crazy. Let's see. Trying to think. Okay, so you got these two little stars that fly around with you, and typically they're firing in the opposite direction that you're going or which way you're pointing. So like if you need to shoot stuff behind you, you push the stick forward while you fire, or not the stick, but the pad. And but you can also lock them in place with like a press of a button. So if you just want them to shoot down for some reason, you get them in that position and press A or 1, I think is the button. I think their controller has a 1 and a 2 button.
And it has a run instead of a start.
Yeah, run.
Yeah, this system creeps me out, man.
But midway through the level, you'll find like a big jack-o'-lantern balloon that you can fly into and buy like upgrades for your magical girl. And I think his name is Uncle Pumpkin. So
I'm into that. Yeah,
it's so charming and delightful and cute and very colorful. Like, it always amazes me how colorful these TurboGrafx games are.
Yeah.
And
that was kind of my main takeaway just looking at images of it. I'm like, yeah, this is colorful as shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like SNES games, I always thought of them as having better graphics, but like TurboGrafx games, there's something very, very colorful about it. I don't know if that's is that a good thing or a bad thing? Did they have fewer colors, so they went with brighter colors, or I don't know. I don't know what the story is there, but I feel like TurboGrafx 16 games always look really nice.
Yeah,
coloring book pages.
I feel like they were competing more with the NES too, though, which makes it even more like.
Right. Well, they look streets ahead of the fucking NES, but
yeah.
That was the problem of that confusing time in video game console releases. It's like, what's competing with what exactly? Like, NES still hanging around. Genesis came out in '89. Like, TurboGrafx is here. Also the SNES, and then Genesis is just starting to add add-ons. So who knows what's competing with what? Like, everybody's confused, but the games all look pretty good. Like, I like it. I wish. Now I feel bad, man. Now I feel bad that I completely forgot that you did an I Am Terrible video about this game.
I did a shit. Did I do a whole video? I thought I just streamed it one time.
Oh, okay. Shit. See, that's the thing. I thought that you had because it was all starting to ring a bell, but maybe you just streamed it. But yeah. I don't know. It rang a bell once you put it out there. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to remember to keep track of what Jesse gives us on the channel, because typically it'll be something that he either is using currently or will use in the future. Like, that's the Jesse checklist.
Yeah.
Um,
See if you guys are paying attention.
exactly. Like, and how dare you, sir, play games on the show that you've shown us videos of you actually playing in real life? What the hell is the matter with you anyway? Yeah. Going against the Johnny Code by actually playing games for the show.
Well, I already recorded this week's video, and it's a magical chase. Hopefully I didn't do one before.
Oh, cool.
I get pretty far in it, though. Spoiler alert.
See, that's the thing. You got to start doing a sequel series. You've had I Am Terrible At, and now you need I Am Doing a Little Better At.
Yeah.
And then eventually,
Well, I'm
maybe
still terrible.
Yeah, actually, and then on a third pass, actually, yes, I am still pretty terrible at this. Featuring Jesse.
I don't know. I like the idea of a video series I'm getting there.
Yeah,
almost got it.
Episode 7 on Magical Chase, almost. Yeah, trust me, I'm gonna nail this one down soon. Jesse will master something on stream at some point.
They give you a lot of continues, so I think I could beat it.
That's good. See, yeah, I hate games that were stingy with the continues. So that's the is the game you say the game's fun? Is it like arcade ass hard? Like
No. It like you get a health bar or like you get hearts.
Big difference.
And you can get more hearts with Uncle Pumpkin. There's a great power up you can buy. Sometimes he sells this elixir, and if you die, you just go back to full health. So it's like a get out of jail free card. You can buy like hearts that give you that'll heal you twice. You can buy like more hearts for your health. There's all these like bombs and ways to upgrade your spells and stuff. So it gets pretty good.
Now, at any point do you get to summon this Uncle Pumpkin, or is there like a new game plus mode where you get to play through the game as Uncle Pumpkin? Because quite frankly, I mean, the witch sounds cool, but like a little pumpkin run would be pretty fun too.
You don't get to play as him, but you definitely get to see him, and he looks pretty great.
Yeah, guy with a jack-o'-lantern head. I'm into that.
Yeah,
it's funny to me. Though it does make it seem like this is a Halloween exclusive, like timed game. Like, you shouldn't be playing this if it's not Halloween because you're a little witch and there's pumpkins. But if you can get past that, it's a fun game for all times. I think it looks really fucking cool. So kind of give me TurboGrafx 16 desires here, right? Something I've seldom had in my life.
They have a it's been obviously what's the word? Pushed back, but they have one of those mini systems that's a TurboGrafx. And,
wait, is that happening?
Oh, right.
It's supposed to be, but they're having it on hold right now because of certain things. And
did they realize there's not enough games to sell to people? Like, wait a minute, shit. We don't have enough hits on this system to really drive one of these mini consoles. Like, we have zero name recognition. We had a couple of bonk games, these cool shoot 'em ups, and if we're not careful, we're gonna have to put Yo Bro on this thing.
Well, some of the games on it too are like Japanese games, so like they're just shoot 'em up, so like you don't have to read a whole lot, just start shooting. And,
that's funny.
But I feel like that would be the mini system to have because like the Super Nintendo one is great, but it's like I've played all these fucking games. If I buy a TurboGrafx 16 thing, it's like holy shit! I have all these new games I've never played before, and they're all pretty fucking killer. So I'd keep an eye out for that thing.
Yeah, I think we all should. I'm always after those mini consoles, especially when they fail spectacularly, like the PlayStation 1, and go on sale for like $16. I'm not saying that's going to happen to the TurboGrafx 16. I want it to succeed, but man, if I could get it for cheap, I'll definitely get it. I like having those little mini consoles around. They please me aesthetically. It's just it's an easier way to have systems now.
Yeah, They're magical.
Indeed. There's a strange magic in taking what used to be big and making it small and loading it with even more technology than what it ever had before. Like, is it magic or is it technology? Is technology and science the real magic? Are we going to finally go in hard on the discussion of whether or not science is magic? Johnny, how you feeling, man?
Well, you know what discussion I get into quite often with Danielle is computer science a science? And does me being a computer scientist make me a scientist? I answer yes. It's a natural science, much like biology, and it makes me a scientist.
Wow, John.
I bet your wife, who's a herpetologist, has a very different opinion on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a heated discussion anytime it comes up, which is often.
Yeah,
I bring it up all the time.
I was gonna say, does it sting, John, blowing that much smoke up your own ass? Like, does it start to bother you after a while? I mean, yeah.
I love
I just
making
like
breakfast and spelling out "I am a scientist" with the bacon, handing it to her. And then we start
I was
fighting.
just saying, I love the idea of just like you coming out. She's like making coffee in the morning. It's like, "Good morning. I hope you slept well. I'm a scientist."
I'm a scientist too, you know.
Yeah.
God damn it.
This is a natural science.
Oh, God. Anyway, yeah. Well, Johnny, the scientist, can take us to the calculating computer if Jesse doesn't have anything else about magical chase.
No, I think that all my MP has been used.
Okay. Well, yeah, Johnny, Mr. Scientist, please, use your science to put this episode out of its misery.
I think we just found my luchador name, Mr. Scientist.
Mr. Scientist.
That's great.
Yes.
I love that it's Mr. Scientist and not Dr. Scientist.
Or Senor Scientist. Nope, Mr. Scientist.
LCNCO.
Calculating computer activated.
I'm just trying to say that Yoshi's Cookie is pretty good and you match cookies. Can I say that? Can I? No? Like, fuck, man.
Scoring complete. This game's winner is John Harrington.
Wow. How absurd. Guys, we really got to right the ship next week. I am the keeper of the Game That Tune stats and history. This is our lowest scoring episode of all time. We have never done this poorly on the show. This is wild.
We finally beat handhelds.
Take that, episode 11, you fucking jerk. Yeah. You are no longer our lowest scoring episode. Wowee. Yeah, so I will take the honor of winning this episode by scoring a single point. This is almost arguably the episode that Johnny should win, just based on it being our lowest scoring episode ever. But no, it's too late. The scientists activated the computer. The scores are locked in. I have won. I have a theme for the next episode. So yes, I've been thinking on this theme. I've been, kind of preoccupied this week. I don't know if anybody else is feeling that way, but I really, I try to keep the show, a piece of light, fun escapism, even before whatever wild shit is going on outside in the world right now. We're all feeling a little tense, feeling a little bit of uncertainty, maybe some anxiety over the state of things right now. So on this next episode, I want to play games that make you feel anxiety. No, I'm kidding. I want games that you play that you can chill with. Games that make you feel calm. Games that just it's good time chilling. A game you can relax with is the theme that I want for next week's episode. I think we could all use a little decompression, a little relaxation. So either a game that you can chill with, or, since Johnny doesn't play games, I'll make the caveat. You find me a chill-ass soundtrack, and you bring it to the show, and I won't contest it, baby. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a nice chill episode with some chill games. So, yes, that's the theme. Chill games. Do not take that as an excuse to use an ice level, John. I've made it very clear what the theme is. I'm just going to nip that in the bud right now.
God damn it.
Yeah, that's right. I know your patterns, baby.
Ah.
So it's GTT and chill next week on Game That Tune. So thank you very much, everybody, for listening this week. Thanks to everybody watching along live with us. We've had a great night, great live show, great chat in the chat box. We appreciate you guys joining us. We're live every Wednesday night. We're on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Search for Game That Tune. Join us for our live show. We really appreciate you guys being here. Thanks to everybody checking out podcast form. We appreciate you listening there, downloading and rating, reviewing in iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Our podcasts now come out on Tuesday mornings, so we get the podcast to you a little bit earlier than we used to, so you got some time to listen on Tuesdays, enjoyed that show, maybe even get in a last-minute request for the next episode. Thank you to everybody checking out patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for our awesome exclusives. We've got Jesse's Covered Up series. We've got mixtapes. We've got GTT Gems. Just this week, we published a St. Patrick's Day themed mix. Thank you, David, for those song selections on that one. You did a fantastic job. You really captured the spirit of the season. And we're always having a blast and putting out fun content over there at Patreon. So we appreciate you guys supporting us there. Special thanks to our Patreon superfan tier producers, Alex Messenger, Lance Revere, Damian Beckles, Bradford Stevens, Daniel Perky, Chrono, Dominic Guy, Kellyanne, Taylor Y, all fantastic fellas, and we appreciate you guys supporting the show, very greatly. Special thanks to Muddle Madness, Daniel Perky, Patreon superfan, for his request this week. He sent us his request in our Discord channel, but you can hit us up there or hit us up on Twitter at Game That Tune. You can find us on YouTube at the 24/7 Video Game Music live stream. Make a request there, or you can hit us up gamethattune@gmail.com with your requests, or find us individually on Twitter. I'm there at jgangsta187. You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan JR.
You can find Jesse Moore on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
And you can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
Hell yeah, guys. So, I picked the theme, but I didn't pick the bonus tunes with that theme in mind. So let's get one last little anxiety out of the way. We got a final boss theme from The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. A little taste of that old school meets new school. Ganon appears. And thanks for listening, everybody. Peace out. The Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds is copyright 2013, Nintendo of America Incorporated. Golden Axe 3 is copyright 1995, Sega Games Company Limited. Tales of the Abyss is copyright 2006-2012, Namco Bandai Games. The Cryon Conquest is copyright 1991, Victa Kai. Magical Chase is copyright 1993, Quest and Turbo Technologies Incorporated.